Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about the Barcelona daily news for today, and we are first going to talk about Ndombele. And so according to Mundo Deportivo, former technical secretary Robert Fernandez already wanted to sign Ndombele last year, but there were two problems. One, De Jong was prioritized, and two, Aula's president of Lyon with offers from Premier League wanted to get from Barca what he didn't get for Umtiti. Ndombele is still a target right now. The midfielder played little with Pochettino, plays little with Mourinho, and Barcelona still want his legs. And beware his talent. He's a very good player. So remember, there has been multiple reports claiming that Barcelona are looking to find a physical midfielder, someone who is very muscular, someone who is very physical in the midfield, who likes to do the dirty work. Barcelona is aware that Vidal and Rakitic might potentially leave this summer, and they do want to replace those players with the same type of profile. Ndombele is 23 years old and he is a French midfielder, and to be more specific, he is a French defensive midfielder. He did sign with Tottenham back in the summer of 2019. With Pochettino, he had 11 starts out of 14, and with Jose Mourinho, he did start in 6 games out of 13. So if you guys see that little pattern going on, he is playing less and less as he progresses with Tottenham in the first season, and this is mainly because he hasn't been performing at the level that he should be performing at, especially knowing that he plays in the EPL. We know that Jose Mourinho has been heavily criticizing him in front of the public, mainly because of his work rate, because he does not track back, he does not mark, especially when you are a defensive midfielder. And when you are in the middle of the field, your duties is to track back, your duties is to mark the players, because that is very important when you are a midfielder. That is what midfielders are supposed to do, and Ndombele has not been that player. And it could also be because his fitness level is very low, and the media, the people, have been saying that they should give him a pass because he's a young player, that he's new to the EPL, and when he did play with Lyon, he hasn't played much, and also because he had to switch coaches mid-season. So all of these excuses, all of these reasons why he hasn't been performing at the level that he should be performing at, but I'm not going to take that, and I don't think that Barcelona would want to take that either. And that's the question: would Barcelona want to bring a player with those type of characteristics, a player that does not want to track back, a player that does not want to mark other players? I believe that Barcelona will say no to that, because if you're having problems in the EPL, you're going to have even more problems when you play in La Liga. And the biggest thing that I do want to highlight from this player is that his price tag is 70 to 72 million euros, and has his performance justify his price tag? Because if Barcelona do want to buy him in the summer, that is basically what we're gonna have to pay, which is 70 to 72 million euros. So does his performance justify the price tag? And my answer to that is no. Barcelona has better options out there. There is much better talent with much better work rate. So I think by the time we get into the summer, Barcelona will say, no, I'm good. And I'm also going to say, no, I'm good. This player is out the door. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Nelson Semedo. According to Sport, Barcelona are willing to let Nelson Semedo go because his contract expires in 2 years. There have been talks with his agent explaining that they want to renew his deal or let him go. Semedo is happy at Barcelona but won't rule anything out. So every time we do talk about Nelson Semedo, right, there's always this interesting debate on why Semedo should stay and why Semedo should not stay. The people who have said that Semedo should stay is because he has the pace, he has the speed that Dani Alves did have back in 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12. And another argument that has been made on why he should stay is that tactically, Semedo is needed to make up for Messi's dip in pace, his dip in speed. Because you and me know that Messi is not able to track back, he's not able to make those runs, and Semedo has been that player to do that. And those are very valid and strong points. Like, I'm going to have to admit that. Those are very good points to make. Those are good reasons why Semedo should stay at FC Barcelona. But here's my argument. Here is why I would not mind having Semedo leave FC Barcelona, and why I think that he's not as important as we think he is. Barcelona is in a state, and they stand firm on this, right? That they could say, hey, if you can't provide us goals, assists, then we do not need you here. And SEMEDO has not been that player to do that. Like, to me, you can run back and forth all you want, but if those runs are not effective, if those runs are not converted into goals or assists, then why are you there? And Barcelona has been asking that same question, and they have been looking for that type of player like Dani Alves since 2016. Now, I'm not saying that Barcelona are going to find the next Dani Alves, like a complete duplicate of Dani Alves, but I do think that Barcelona will find something similar. And when Barcelona do find that player that can provide goals and assists, not be as good as Dani Alves, I think Barcelona will not hesitate on replacing that player, whoever it is, to replace Nelson Semedo. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Lautaro Martinez. According to Sport, Real Madrid have tried to convince Lautaro Martinez in February, but the player wasn't interested as talks with Barcelona progresses at a fine rate. So it is true, there was a report that came out about 2 months ago that Real Madrid were willing to match Barcelona in terms of paying that release clause. And so, like Barcelona, Real Madrid have been following Lautaro Martinez for a very long time. If we go back in 2018, Lautaro Martinez did have this short interview when he did play in Argentina, and this is what he said. I found out this morning about Real Madrid's offer. I couldn't believe it. There is still nothing concrete yet though. For now, I decided to stay. I want to play in Argentina with Racing. It is something I need and want to do. Midway through the year, we will see what happens. And so it is crazy to see how far and how long Barcelona and Real Madrid have been following this player. But even with that being said, even with Lautaro Martinez saying that back in 2018 and these rumors coming out about Real Madrid wanting to compete with FC Barcelona with this player, I don't think there's any chance for Real Madrid to be ahead of Barcelona when it comes to buying Lautaro Martinez. I think that Martinez wants Barcelona as much as Barcelona wants Martinez. And so I just think that that was something that needs to be addressed. Yes, Barcelona is not the only club that wants Lautaro Martinez. Real Madrid do want him too, and they have been wanting him since 2018. Now moving on to the last topic of the day, and it's a very interesting one, and we are going to talk about Luis Enrique, who is a former Barcelona player and a former Barcelona manager. He did have an interview yesterday, and this is what he had to say. The player who impressed me the most, Messi, and Iniesta also impressed me a lot. I have left the possibility of returning open with all the clubs I managed. My time at Barcelona was wonderful. Since that quote came out to the public, many people were questioning, is Lucho really leaving the door open to coach Barcelona again? So we know that Lucho is closely associated with Spanish football. He did agree to coach the Spain national team a couple months ago, and he did step back not too long ago, but recently on November 2019, he did return to coach Spain, so he is coaching Spain at the moment. And Lucho does have a team to guide, which is now confirmed to the Euro 2021. And I'm very excited to see what he has to offer when it comes to coaching Spain and who he's going to use. And I have always been a huge fan of Lucho, and since these statements came out to the public, this really sparked a very interesting debate. And the question is, would you guys want to see Lucho back to coach FC Barcelona? And there has been two different points of views when it comes to this topic. I'm going to give you guys the side A and the side B. One saying Lucho should coach Barcelona again and Lucho should not coach Barcelona again. And so this is what side A has to say. Lucho should come back and coach Barcelona because he has won us the treble. He did create the best front three of all time, and he has assembled one of the best Barcelona teams that we have ever seen. Then you have side B, who are the people that do not want Lucho back for these reasons. They believe that Lucho won't be as successful if he does come back, because back in 2015, the only reason why Lucho won the treble was because of the front three, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. And they have also question, when was there ever a day where we finished a game and we said, wow, that was a Lucho masterclass? Like, the only reason why we won was because of Lucho's, Luis Enrique, masterclass in this game. They were questioning that. They were saying, when was there ever a day where we had to say that? And then they also said that this Barcelona side was so good that if Tata were to extend his contract and give another year and coach that team in the 2014 and 2015 season, he would have won the same amount of trophies. So those were the sides. Those were the debates of side A and side B. I'm going to give you guys my opinion. So first, I would like to say that Lucho deserves much more credit for coaching FC Barcelona back in 2014 through 2017, meaning that I believe people don't give him enough credit for what he has done for the club. And so what I'm basically saying is that I am on the side A. I believe that Lucho did guide this team to success. If Lucho were given the option to coach FC Barcelona again, I believe that he will bring the same amount of success. Because if the trio really did help Lucho win the treble, if we're gonna go based off that logic, then that means that the Messi, Suarez, Griezmann partnership should have won Valverde multiple trophies and they should have kept Valverde's job. And people might say, but it was Griezmann, Suarez, and Messi's first season, okay? But it was also Messi, Suarez, and Neymar's first season back in 2014 and 2015. The only reason why the MSN was successful was not just because of their individual brilliance, but because Lucho put them in a way where they could understand each other at that time. Valverde was not able to do that with Griezmann, Messi, and Suarez. And right from the start, we did see Messi, Suarez, and Neymar combine well at the beginning of the season. And with Suarez, Griezmann, and Messi, till this day, we have not been able to see that. So yes, I would welcome Lucho back, but is it going to happen? Do I think Lucho will come back to FC Barcelona within the next 2 to 3 years? I'm going to have to say no. As much as I want that to happen, it's not going to happen. Sometimes we do have to be realistic. Lucho does have a duty. He does have a mission to complete with Spain. And I actually do advise Lucho to stay at Spain. I do want him to do good with the national team and build these young players like Ansu Fati and all of these other young potential prospects that are going to bring back light to the Spain national team. And on another note, Guardiola and Xavi are ahead of Lucho when it comes to my list on who's most likely to come to FC Barcelona. My list at the moment on who's most likely to come is Xavi, and then Coleman, Guardiola, and then Lucho is last. Not because Lucho is a bad coach, but it is because Lucho is very brand new to his current project at the moment. Xavi is about to finish his little era in Qatar, and Guardiola is about to finish his contract with Manchester City. And we also have Coleman, who is going to finish his contract with Holland and has that release clause where he can leave the Holland's national team in 2021. That is why they are more likely to come to the club. Again, Lucho is very new to the Spain project and he's going to stay there for at least 3 to 4 more years. So that is it for today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.